Okay, are you guys ready to go today? Well, it's that time again. It's that time of week. And boy, these weeks going fast. We have an artwork critique coming up, and I'm going to show you the people we're going to be looking over here. Renee Nielsen. That's the work coming up. And another guy named Erez Askin. So we're going to ask him. We're going to ask Mr. Askin and tell him how I think he's doing, okay? We want to encourage you guys to send in your stuff so I can make it a part of the live program routine every week to get stuff in and take a look at it. And, you know, we'll talk about this and talk about that, and I'll give you a few tips, but people get so few critiques these ways. This isn't the 70s and the 80s like when I was growing up in comic fandom, which is a whole different world than it is now. Much better than it is now. So I grew up during those times, and we had these wonderful critiques that went on between the pros at the time, and we got all the feedback we ever wanted. So that's just something that's very memorable to me. Post your art at the Patreon chat as a free or paid member, and I'll take a look, which I will. Root Studio Welcome Kit. So we're sending a welcome kit to comic shops. Do you know a shop that you really like? Because that's what we're asking about. Leave their info to us, and we're going to be in contact with them with probably an entire bag of Santa's goodies, including cookies and eggnog. Leave their info at steveroo.com. All you guys that know the comic shops that might be interested here, /studio welcome, and we'll send them a friendly surprise from the studio. Doesn't that sound exciting? Yes, it does. Most of you long-timers know, and even you short-timers know, that I've always been a real guy into animals, right? I wanted to be a zoologist at one time. This week is going to be Buffalo Week. So anyone that wants to draw a buffalo should send in their samples of bison. The scientific word for bison is what? It's bison. So this is my effort right here. We're going to send this photo out to you guys to work on for yourself. And I expect you to do the best buffalo you are capable of doing, okay? And now it can be painted, it can be drawn. I prefer painted. I'm really into teaching you guys about the art of illustration. And whenever we paint, that kind of includes some of that, okay? So let's say hello to Buffalo Bill, Bison. So the work we have here that we're going to feature today is Renee Nielsen. So this is obviously done with Photoshop. I can't see it being done any other way here. This Renee, is very good. He or she really knows what they're doing here. This is Spider-Gwen, something that you current guys know all about, a little more than I do. The white space this night, the dynamics of all the lines, the perspective lines going down, the little funny stuff where they're looking at her from the billboard, and the great postures that she's in. Wonderful stuff. Color schemes are great too. Purple, red, and green. This one right here could use a rim light. So if you squint, the only things you can really see clearly are the windows. That's because they're the brightest, they're the whitest. If we were to say have a moonlit rim light around these guys, I think that would take care of everything to help them read a little better instead of getting lost in midtone or the darks, which is what a nighttime scene is all about. But the poses are good. This guy has very good poses. You can also see that as an example in this Spider-Man pose right here. The spaghetti webbing that everyone is doing nowadays. See, this one has a nice focal point right there because of that white space. And it's enough to surround enough of him to give us an idea of our eye wanting to go to the center and focusing on this little area right here. The eyes are white, so that's no problem. That's going to stand out. Here's the way I see this right here. That's the white shape. And that's it. Everything else is dark, okay? You guys get that? Here's an arm coming in, but you go around it, you have a circle of white space, okay? And that's essentially what this thing breaks down to. A dark and a light. A very dark and a very light. Because when you squint, and that's really the secret that everyone knows about, you're going to see only the things that are meant to stand out. And anything that does not have great value contrast is going to fade into the background. Essentially, this is all dark. Yeah, there's a couple, lighter tones with the webbing here and all that. But at a glance, all you're going to see is this and maybe a couple pumpkins, okay, that are green. That's how I would read this, and hopefully this person here was being aware of that when they set this kind of thing up with its tonal and color setup. But very nice work right here. Ready to go pro, this Renee. Irez Askin. So we're going to ask him here, okay? This is black and white work. I guess this stuff came from a Marvel sample script, a page from Black Fury magazine number 5, and an uncolored page from, you know, some stuff here. But what I want to show you here is that this is all very delineated, very detailed ink work. What I'm going to look at right here is pretty much how clearly I can tell what the story is doing right here. So this is how I interpret it. It's a cliff with a sunrise coming over it. And we go into a big city kind of an area, look through the reinforced windows, and we go to a clock. And we have a guy getting up, this little kid, and he goes into the other room. Okay, that's good storytelling. You can put as much detail or as little detail as you want. You can be a Mobius type with almost no detail, and everything is, well, a lot of detail, but just using the color as the shapes, color the shapes. This is very good. He's got a nice variety of shots in here. The long shot, a long shot from outside his room here. There's the alarm going off, and then he's getting up and he's walking out into the dark. So there may be a sense of something macabre going on here. One thing I would do, if I was going to do this, I would have this huge close-up of a clock going off. And he might be getting up a little more disturbed than that. He might be a little more razzed, depending on the kind of story you want to tell. If this guy hasn't had any sleep all night, if he's just a crabby guy in general, if he hasn't had his warm beer in the morning or his Cheerios, he's going to get a little upset until he gets it. So he walks out with his blanket, always a good touch. But it's funny because this is a clearer way to show it. This is the clock on the dresser. Sometimes you can go for it, and what I would go when I say go for it is have a gigantic clock there to really set it off, set the page off, instead of a kind of a mild manner, medium shot, all that kind of stuff going on here. Now this stuff right here is also interesting. Here's another guy getting out of bed right here. I can't see exactly what's going on here, but this environment is supposed to tell me a story. This looks like a mirror right here. This room, when you introduce a room of somebody, it's supposed to tell you everything about the guy. If he's a boring guy, you may have very little to show in his room. Maybe he's just some dumb bachelor type that throws his underwear everywhere and leaves his dishes in a pile. But there's going to be something you want to put in there that's idiosyncratic to him, like a particular poster that he happens to like, or some kind of a blown up poster in the background, or CD line on the bed that he likes, or a newspaper. Newspapers are always good for giving you the headline, which is something that he's looking at and is concerned about, okay? So he walks into, I don't know if this guy is this guy right here. I don't know if he's this guy over here or this guy, or this guy. Maybe, I don't know what's going on. This is like a smoking jacket right here that Sherlock Holmes would wear. Some guy here is making an announcement. Good shadow work right there. Dark, you know, clear shadow work coming from the cast shadow from the guy in the doorway. And something's going on here that I can't quite tell. And this is obviously something where a guy's in a phone looking through his calendar. What that is good storytelling. The great thing about storytelling, and this is what I use for pretty much everyone, when I want to find out if my storytelling is working or not, I don't care who it goes to. It can go to, you know, Aunt Maud or Aunt Harriet's dog for all I care. I just want them to give me feedback according to what I drew. And if they can't tell me the little things that are I hope are clear to them in the page that I drew, then I need to go back and rethink things. Fortunately, that hasn't happened in a long time. But anyway, so that's the critiques for this time. We have 2 more coming up next week. And if you guys want to send your work in, I will be happy to look at it. So we're going to sign off. Send in your artwork for more critiques. And don't forget, what week is it? It's Bison week. Look it up. The scientific name for Bison is Bison. So hopefully with watercolor, send them in. This reference is going to be available to you to work from as I have worked myself, and I expect really good Bisons. So until next time, you guys, I hope that was entertaining enough. Keep working hard. Never forget your dreams. And do good work. We'll see you.